Daggerheart. Daggerheart. Daggerheart, come and me. Oh, wait. No, that's not Daggerheart. This is a completely different game from a completely different person. But now, what am I doing? What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, coming to you live at 8:34 in the morning for our regularly scheduled Saturday nonsense on the 16th day of March 2024. And it is gorgeous and sunny outside, but cold. Well, for California, it's cold. It's 46 degrees in Ventura, California for reasons, considering it's March. Weather. So you may notice that this is not Daggerheart. Sorry. Everybody and their dog has jumped on the Daggerheart bandwagon. So what can I say that other people haven't already said about Daggerheart than I can? And so I just ask you if you want a very good, non-biased or slightly biased take on Daggerheart, check out Grim Jim. You know, if I'm going to recommend anybody, it's Jim. Jim is always, the top of my list for YouTubers in the same boat as I am. So, yeah, I figured, you know what? Everybody else is doing it. Except for this guy. Yeah, but you don't make videos. Hi, Aaron. Aaron the Errantless, one of my oldest subscribers, constantly putting me in my place. Very smart, well thought out. I've often said he should take these things that he says and put them in a blog or something because he really has some great insight. So Dungeon Coach reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to look at the alpha test of DC20. DC20, one of the first announced games that came out post OGL. It's the first time I heard somebody refer to something as a D&D killer in reference to 2024 D&D. It was this game. The very first time I saw a post for it was, is DC20 the D&D killer? So it's pretty much ready to go. He has an alpha test, and as you know, I'm holding August 4th Gen Con as the line of demarcation for if I think your product's going to matter in 2024. So if you don't have an alpha test out, or at least by Gen Con, you're probably not going to have your game out this year. So I don't count it. So yeah. So most of the games that people have said are the most anticipated games for 2024, I'm like, until I see an alpha test or a quick start or just something, yeah. And if it's not out by August, it's not coming out this year. Looking at you, MCDM, Daggerheart, Doom, Assassin's Creed, and all the others. But this one has an alpha test available. It's on in the fourth or fifth round of testing. The play test should be available full. He reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to do a review. I said yes. I said, could I get him on an interview? He said, no, I'm too busy. So I asked him some questions and he sent me a couple answers. He made it very clear he doesn't want me to do a page-by-page review. He hates those. And I was like, have you seen my reviews? I never do those, dude. My reviews are awful, but okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the table of contents, and then we're going to try and make a character because he has sent us a fillable character record sheet. And this is probably the best way to just jump right into a system. So let us look at the character record sheet and the table of contents. First, the table of contents. And I've already looked at the table of contents, and it's a mess. So that's my first problem with it. Okay, so here's your table of contents. One page. All the typical things you would expect to see in a table of contents. Very well laid out, very professional, no art. I like it. Looks like a player's handbook. Page 2. Okay, again, 58 pages so far. Stuff you expect to see. Looks like he's got a bit of the DM's guide in there also. You'll notice there is no safety tools. I checked. No safety tools yet. Page 3. Okay, now we're on to 3 pages of a table of contents. And you notice one thing we haven't seen yet. How to make a character. That should have been the very first thing, right? Page 4, and we finally see how to make a character. And that doesn't even start to page 87. So we've got to go through 86 pages of fluff before we get to how to make a character. Now, as you know, I'm on mixed feelings about fluff versus mechanics. I'm very much, I hate fluff. Save the fluff for the end. I want to be able to jump in, page 3, start making a character, be able to go through that 20, 40, 80 pages, and by the end of which I have a character ready to go. Then I can learn about the world. Then I can read your thing, how to game master, your stupid safety tools if you have to add them. So if I've got to go through 87 pages before I actually get to the stuff that matters to me, I'm already like, yeah, Elon. So yeah. Anyways, we don't start character creation to page 87. So let us forward to page 87 and go through the steps. 87. Bam. Here we go. Character creation outline. This is the best way to do it. And we will now bring up the fillable character record sheet for you to look at, because this is boring to look at. Aaron is saying no safety tunes is a good sign. There we go. I don't know what he's referring to as there we go. But okay, here's a character record sheet. It's a form fillable character record sheet, which is cool. Some familiarity, as you can see. It does look a couple things that we recognize, but a lot of new stuff. So the stats are might, agility, charisma, and intelligent. I guess might is strength and endurance. Agility is agility, charisma is charisma, and intelligence is intelligence. And then we've got a blank one here for like knowledge masteries. Don't know what any of this is. Then we've got trades, which I guess are like your professions, languages, currency, hit points, and mana points, and stamina points. We've got physical and mental defense. Interesting. Combat and action points. He's included exhaustion and death. And everything else is, something called grit points and rest points. There's a lot of mechanics going on. A lot of levels, it looks like. And, you get two pips, whatever. Okay, so a lot of this looks like D&D. A lot of this looks like something else. With the pips, I'm thinking, World of Darkness, stuff like that, systems that use the pips. D6 Star Wars. Vons.com just dropped off my whatever. All right, so here we go. Standard array, point by, roll method. We're going to use standard array. 3, 1, 0, and -2. And then you gain 2 additional attribute points to recruit whenever attributes you want, up to the attribute limit of 3. All right, what are we going to make? We're going to make a fighter, because that's, so we'll start with a 3 in might. We'll start with the 1 in agility. We'll start the 0 in intelligence. And we'll put the -2 in charisma. I'm not a well-spoken fighter. And then I got enough points to raise one thing. To raise 1 point, but I can't raise it above 3. So I've got 2 additional points. So I probably want to get rid of that -2 charisma, right? So let's just shave that off to a 0 charisma. Okay, roll method, we've done that. Save masteries. You choose 2 attributes to gain save mastery at level 1. You choose 2 of the 4 attributes and able to add your combat mastery to those saves. There's a save section on your character sheet next to your attribute. Bubble in the circle and write in your total for each. 2 attributes to gain save mastery. Okay, we're going to do might. Choose 2 of the 4 attributes. And I don't know what that means because I don't have a combat mastery yet, but I'm going to just go 1 there, 1 there. All right. Background, skills, and trade and language. Skills. Your background gives you 5 skill points, but you also increase or decrease your skills points based on your intelligence attribute. Starting skill points 5 plus intelligence. Remember, if you put one skill point into a knowledge skill, you get a free bonus point to put in any other knowledge skill. You still have to follow the mastery cap of novice, though. This is already sounding really complicated. And where are these things? And then here's class progression, leveling up. Talents. I don't get any talents yet. All right, this is already way too complicated. Where do I find my trades? Got to pick a trade first, huh? All right, where are my trades? Skill list. Might, acrobatics, stealth, knowledge, charisma, trade attributes. All right, my choices are illustration, musician, theater, alchemy, blacksmithing, glassblowing, herbalism, jeweler, leatherworking, sculpting, tinkering, weaving, brewing, carpentry, cartography, cooking, masonry, subterfuge, disguise, gaming, lockpicking, and then some languages. And how many of these do I get? $87. All right, yeah. Free trade points. All right. And how much does each trade cost? I'm already not liking the way this is laid out. All right, I'm a fighter. I'm going to take blacksmith. My attribute is might. And where is blacksmith on here? Right here. Blacksmith. And yeah, this is already a little too complicated, Dungeon Crouch. And the fact that I have to keep going back and forth, I get 2 more of these. I'm going to take, I don't know, cooking. Sure. And, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. What goes with blacksmithing? Tinkering. I can fix things. Sure. Tinkering. Tinkering. All right. There we go. I have done my skills. This is taking way too much time. I should have started a timer. It should only take me like 5 minutes, right? 20 minutes? How long do you think it should take a character? Languages. All right, I've got your background gives you. I mean, I've already picked my Well, just my languages are going to be common because I'm a fighter. And I don't know, I'm a human fighter. Old common. There we go. All right, next. Background. Background. Where's my background? Skills, variant rules, trade, languages. Where is background? Coming soon, you get a list of starting equipment based on your background. Oh, it's not in this one yet. Okay. You have 5 skill points from your background, but background isn't in here yet. Skills, variant rules, trades, mastery types, skill masteries, trade masteries. I don't see backgrounds. Let's go to the table of contents. Where is backgrounds? Backgrounds, 87. I went to 87. There's nothing there. Okay, I guess backgrounds aren't in the game yet. So I don't know where to put that. I'm just going to put it here. Background to be determined. All right, so I've got 5 points. Okay, I'm going to put it in to put in my skills. What I think we read. Go back to page 87. Skills, 5 skill points. Okay, where are my skills? No, these are my skills. Okay, I'm going to do another one in athletics, another one in acrobatics. That's 2. I'm going to do 1 in investigation. That's 3. 1 in influence. That's 4. And 1 in intimidation. That's 5. I think I'm doing this right. I hope so. Guess we got to watch a video on how to make a character. This is too complicated for me. Starting equipment. I don't know. Starting hit points. 5 plus 2 times your character level. That's 1 plus might. And our might of 3. So 5 times 1 is 5. 6, 7, 8. We have got 8 hit health points. 8. Stamina. Fill in your character's stamina and mana. Martial characters have 1 stamina point. Spellcasters have 6 mana points. And paladins have 1 stamina point and 4 mana points. Well, we're a fighter. We don't have any mana, but we've got 1 stamina, which seems kind of thing. Defense. Fill in your character's physical and mental defense. Unarmored, light armor, and heavy armor all use the following formula. Physical defense is equals 8 plus CM plus agility plus armor bonus. What is our CM? I think it's 3. All right, it's our highest stat. So 8, 9, 10, 11. We don't have any armor yet. So I'm just going to put 11. Where's armor? Mental defense is 8 plus CM plus charisma plus intelligence. So 8, 9, 10, 11 plus 0 is 11. Damage reduction. I'm not wearing armor yet. Combat modifiers. Save DC of plus, ancestry. I got to pick my ancestry now. I'm human. Human fighter. Where is that? Ancestry. 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 Ancestry system. Choose your ancestry. Human. Human. Choose, and then you get points. I did point. Okay, each. Yes, it's alpha something. I wish the guy was here to talk us through character creation. I'm going to have to see if there is a video on character creation. I'm already finding this way too complicated. Okay, so ancestry. All right, choosing human. You have 5 ancestry points to spend on your ancestry traits. Okay, my ancestry traits are: I can increase an attribute for 2 points. I can get resilience in an attribute for 2 points. I can get what's known as human resolve. I can get undying, where I have advantage on saves against the doom condition. That costs me 0 points. Then that's just free. So as a human, I get undying. Where do I put that? Where do I put that? That is a what? What is that? I guess that goes under my saves. Where are my saves? There, you don't see them. Okay, I get advantage is on saves versus doom. There's something in here called, there's a modifier in here called doom, and then expanded traits. But I don't think I can get those into 4th level. All right, so I'm going to take the resilience for 2 points. This gives me 3 points. And that gives me a save mastery on a save. Where do I put save masteries? I'm going to put save mastery on my athletics. I'm just going to put it here because I don't see a thing. OGGM, we probably should have looked at the video of how to make a character. No, I should be able to jump on this right away and have a step-by-step of how to make a character that is easily laid out. All right, so I'm a human. I've spent 2 of my points. I've got 3 left. I'm going to increase an attribute for 2. That's 5. 3 plus 2 is 5. 3 plus... Yeah, so I've got 3 left. I'm sending 2 more. I've got 1 left. Choose a trade. I don't think I can get those yet, from what I understand. Expanded traits. I'm going to just choose a trade and take a master in it. I'm taking blacksmith. There. Badam. And then badam. There we go. Okay. There. Done. I don't know if I did it right, but that makes sense to my brain. I'm a human. Okay. Now let's pick our class. The classes are Barbarian, Bard, Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Monk, Paladin, Scion, Ranger, Rogue, Sorcerer, Warlock, Warlord, and Wizard. Okay, that's 2 net. Okay, Warlord from 4th. Didn't make it to 5th. Warlock from 4th. Did make it to 5th. Sorcerer from, God, how long has Sorcerer been around? And it is ranged from one of the best character classes that I really enjoyed playing to one of the worst. I really do not like the Sorcerer in 5th. Barbarian's not a class. Barbarian is not a class. It is a social status. Just make, raging out of as a fighter subclass. Bard. I'm playing a Bard in Castles and Crusades right now, and it is really just a pointless character. Other than I have way too many hit points for a halfling. The Bard ability only works out of combat, and that's when people remember that I've used it. So yeah, it's just a fighter that has an ability. I'm a semi-decent fighter that has the ability to occasionally make other people's skills roll better. Is that really a Bard? I don't know. Unless I don't know, Bard only makes sense in some game. Yeah, I'm just Cleric. Of course, you got to have a Cleric. Druid, sure. Fighter. Monk, only if it's done right. I don't really. That's another class that I really at this point feel isn't necessary because nobody really gets it right. Scion, why do we need a Scion and a Sorcerer? Just make it a Sorcerer thing. Ranger, Rogue, Warlock, Warlord. What's the difference between a fighter and a Warlord and a Wizard? Okay, that's too many. It's less, But let's go Fighter. 3 of the following: light weapon, heavy weapon, shield. I'm going to choose a shield. Where do I put my gear? Free shield. I'm taking it. 1 ranged weapon. I'm taking a bow. Longbow with 20 arrows. 1 set of novice light armor or novice heavy armor. Heavy armor? Especially since I don't have a sword. X or Y packs, adventuring packs coming soon. Fighter's abilities are combat masteries. I know how to use all armors, all weapons, and all shields. Even if I've never seen the weapon before, the second I pick it up, I know how to use it. Does anybody ever question that in games? You know, it's one of the first things that fighters get. It's their main thing. But then you're like, wait, you've never seen that before. You've never trained with that before. I don't even know what that is. And suddenly you know how to use it relatively well. That's borderline magical, but okay. Yeah, it's silly, but sure. We've got maneuvers. We've got techniques. We've got extra stamina points. I regain 1 stamina point when I perform 1 or more saves or attack maneuvers as part of an action, provided I don't spend stamina points as part of the action. I can learn 2 static fighting styles from the thing below. Dueling, great weapon fighting, lightly armored, shield defender, thrown weapon fighting, two weapon fighting. Well, I'm gonna use a spear. Is a spear a great weapon in this game? I don't have a spear yet, so I'm gonna use lightly armored. All I have is a shield so far, but I'm taking a spear. Spear is a great weapon? I don't know. I'll save it till I find out what they consider spears. My bonus hit points is +1. I get a bonus hit point of +1. It's 9. Why? I don't know, because I'm a fighter. I get 1 stamina point. All right. I already have 1, so now I have 2. No maneuvers, no techniques. I'm picking my class features. I'm picking my ability to regain stamina. I've got a fighting style. I've got a bow, I guess, for free. I'll take the bow for free. I probably should have taken, I guess, a spear. No, I'm saving up for my spear. I get something called evactive technique. The longer you spend in combat, the better you begin to understand your enemy and how to exploit their weaknesses. You gain the following benefits for every round you spend engaged in combat beyond the round first. Round 2, you have advantage on martial checks. Round 3, you have advantage on physical checks. Round 4, you have advantage on physical saves. Round 5, you have advantage on death saves. So I get slightly better at athletics and acrobatics at second round. I get slightly better at all my agility and attack checks. So I have advantage on my attack checks. That makes sense. And then I get slightly better at defending myself against them. And then that's about it. And then there's a flavor feature. You can observe or interact with another creature to learn information about its physical capabilities compared to your own. You must spend 1 minute observing and interacting with the creature out of combat to assess the creature. When you do, the GM will tell you if the following stats are higher, lower, or the same as yours. Interesting. A weird take on find weakness, know your enemy. I kind of like that. A lot of bookkeeping. Yeah, this is definitely a crunch system. D&D killer. Not sure. Okay. All right. We don't get anything else at first level. Let's buy our crap. Where's shopping? How much money do I have at first level? Okay, there is no shopping. Weapons. All right. I'm buying a spear. How much is a spear going to cost me? Spear is a light weapon. It's going to cost me no price, so I'm assuming it's free. So you just lost it. Where'd it go? Oh, I got steak as a weapon. I assume they made wooden steak, not the food. It does 2 damage, and its type is piercing. So set damage instead of rendered damage, then I guess I add my might bonus to it. And it's versatile, which means I can do, brace. All right. So we've got our spear. We've got our free bow. That also does 2. And we are done. So we have made Steve, the fighter, human. There were no backgrounds that we could find yet, so we're just going to say his background is Steve. He's first level. So 1 divided by 2 equals, I guess my combat mastery is 1 plus, I don't know. We've got a might of 3. We have mastered athletics, I think. We've got an agility of 1. We're pretty decent with acrobatics. We've got a charisma of 0. And we took influence to scare people. And we've got an intelligence of 0 with 1 point in investigation. We're a pretty decent blacksmith. We suck at cooking and tinkering. We know how to speak English or common. We got 2 stamina points, 0 mana points, 9 hit points, 11 defense before wearing armor, and 11 mental, and that's it. And that took me 842, and it's now 906, so 42 to 52, 52 to 6. So 20 minutes to make this character, and I'm still not quite sure what I just did. All right. In my defense, I should probably have watched a video on how to make a character, but I wanted to go into this blind, just like I did with Daggerheart and whenever else I look at a system. Because that's what he said he wanted. He said he didn't want me to do a page by page. He just kind of wanted me to dive in and give sort of my emotional response. So my initial emotional response to DC20, other than why did you make this game? What are your goals? Where do you think it's going? How do you think you're going to compete in the very glutted market that's, post Gen Con 2024? What is your niche? What have you got going for you? How are you the D&D killer? Because right now it just feels like a very clunky, overly complicated game. I lost interest after going through almost 100 pages before I got to the rules of how to make a character, when that should be the very first thing. Introduction, how to make a character. Race, roll stats, choose your race, pick your class, buy your crap, then fluff. That should be true for any game. If the first thing I'm seeing is 80 some odd pages of fluff, you've lost me. If you don't catch my attention with the first 10 pages of the script, the first 2 minutes of screen time, you've probably lost me. So that would be my first complaint. Second complaint, that was a referencing things that don't exist yet. very, very hard to follow character record building. I had to keep going back to look at other things and then coming back and then going back. Of course, I was doing this online instead of with the book in front of me. Online, it should be easier, right? Okay. So I like the character sheet. I like some of the ideas. I like the set damage instead of random damage. I never got a chance to play. I always wanted to, but I never got a chance to play, Aaron. Sometimes I should just do an interview with you. And you can just let you talk for hours about your stuff. Because so many good things. So I wish he would make videos or post blog stuff or something. He's got so many good thoughts. It's often controversial. Plenty of times I don't agree with him, but he's one of my oldest, most consistent subscribers, and he always makes me think. So that's worth it. And he named himself after one of my favorite Magic cards. So, how can I not go? That said, if I'm comparing this to making a 5e character and just, the very first time I made a 5e character, way easier, but I was coming from a system I understood. I should still sort of feel like, since this is using a lot of OGL, OSR stuff that I recognize, it should have that familiarity that if I'm coming from 5e or 4e, obviously some 4e influence in here, the transitions should feel very easy. If you're going for a stat-based, class-based, level-based D20 system to try and capture people from 5e and get them to buy your game in 2024, then the very first thing is the transition has to be easy enough that if I can just come into this game, see stuff I recognize, build the character, and just backwards engineer that I understand what you're talking about because I've already seen something similar in 5e. And there's a lot of stuff in here where I see that it's just laid out bad. It should flow better. If you want to kill 5e, if you want to capture that 5e attention, you've got to at least shallow end similar enough that I can feel that flow, that I can put down 5e and go, this game does what I want to do better, like what I felt with Pathfinder versus 4th. Pathfinder being the most logical evolution of 3. Picking up Pathfinder for the very first time, the transition was so simple. I only had to learn 1 or 2 new things. Everything else just came quickly. This one, I'm confused as hell. So if I'm basing this on 5e, I give it a 2 so far. But I still have to read it. That's just my initial, my initial thoughts. If I'm basing this on 4e, well, 4e is a disaster. So even you're about the same level. Going through the book is as complicated as it was going through the 4e book. No art, by the way. No art of any kind, which is, I guess, a good thing, but also a bad thing. Yeah. D&D Killer, don't see it. Would I play this game now in the alpha test? No, it's way too complicated. And when am I ever going to get to play it anyways? And I like simple games. I like to make characters quickly. I don't want to have to keep referencing the character sheet because I'm dumb and I'm dyslexic and, whatever. 20 minutes for a game I've never played. That's, average. 20 minutes for a game that is similar enough to a game that I have played that it should be relatively easy for me to make a character. Not so good. But again, this is what Dungeon Coach wanted. He wanted me just to dive in. He didn't want a page by page. I told him I would give him my first emotional response and then get into it. I did this the exact same way I reviewed every other game. I will definitely revisit it after I watch a how to make a character video. Links down below. What did you think? Do you want to continue to hear me talk about DC20 next week? Or would you prefer we go back to making fun of Daggerheart because everybody else is doing it? Or would you like me to never talk about this again and talk about a different game? Let me know what you're thinking. Thank you again to Dungeon Coach. Links down below for sending me this copy, dude. I greatly appreciate it. I hope I didn't ruffle your feathers or hurt your feelings, man, and you'll continue to want to talk to me, and maybe we can finally do that interview at some point in time, dude. But yeah, I've got questions. Thankfully, there's videos linked down below. I'm now going to go watch them. If you appreciate this content, let me know. If you never want to hear me do this ever again, let me know. This is your channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Help me hit 2001 subs by August 4th. Check out my merch, and I'll talk to you later.